My name is Trevor Fritz. I have the opportunity to teach your son or daughter an AP psychology. I'm sorry I cannot be there today. Unfortunately, we have a football scheduling conflict where we had to play on Thursday night, and so I will not be there tonight, and I apologize in advance. There's a couple things I would love for you to hear about me as well as the class, and one thing that I would love for you to do as well. So a little background: I'm a Hoosier, so go Indiana. I had an awesome experience at Indiana University, and it'll regularly be brought up in class. So if there's any Hoosiers out there, please let me know. I had the opportunity to teach up in the farther northwest suburbs, up in Cary, at Cary Grove High School, where I had an amazing 4 years. And once the AP psychology job opened up at Maine South 7 years ago, I took that job and was very lucky to earn that position. And I have not looked back since. It's been an awesome time working with our kids here at Maine South. I currently am the freshman assistant basketball coach, and I also am the sophomore head football coach this year. I run our fan section called Hawk Nation. So follow that on Instagram. And then I help work with our juniors and seniors with Hawk Pride, who mentor our freshmen. So helping them come up with great lessons to help the freshmen fit into Maine South. I love to travel. The picture on the left is a trip that I took a bunch of students on with a few other teachers to Europe. This is a picture of my wife and I in Greece. This summer, we had the opportunity to go to Paris, and then we bounced around Portugal for quite a bit. Highly recommend Portugal. So why am I here? I wish I could tell you this in person, but the easiest way to describe it is when I was in middle school, I had great teachers, I'm sure, but I didn't really build great relationships with them. I would do my work as quickly as I could, and I would pretty much just annoy them and be the loud, obnoxious middle school boy. That's why I teach high school. And when I got to high school, I built some amazing relationships with many of my teachers while I was there, from my homeroom teacher to my AP US history teacher to many other ones. And so throughout my high school and college academic career, they were readily available to help support me, whether it's life advice or whether it's what major to go into. And they played a pivotal role in helping me to be who I am today. Even when I graduated from Indiana, the department chair there brought me in and gave me some mock interviews when I got the job at Cary Grove. And then when I applied for the job here at Maine South, they did the same thing again. And a bunch of teachers gave me tons of resources. And even to this day, years and years later, many years now, they still have an influence on my life in a positive way. And I call them friends. And I hope that I can have some type of similar impact on your son and daughter as well. I love social science. I love psychology, but what I love the most is teaching young people. And it wouldn't matter what class I'm teaching, just getting the opportunity to teach at a great place has always been my dream. And I haven't woken up one day and not been excited to come to school. We do these Hawk Pride challenges each week. Maybe your child has told you about that. The ones we've done so far. We started off talking about being a good apple, and it was excerpt from the Culture Code, written by Daniel Coyle. Highly recommend you check it out. It's one of my favorite books of all time. And so we go through a bunch of different life challenges that try to help shape kids in order to be successful adults. So right now, in our third week, we're talking about using names within conversations. We read an excerpt from How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, and we started practicing using names each day in order to show people that we care about them, and it also lights up a part of our brain that makes us feel good. So here's a list of them. We'll be going through these. Hopefully they ask you for some good advice, but it's just little things to stretch their comfort zone to grow into a better person. And honestly, I do the same every year, and it helps me to become just 1% better every time. So here's my challenge for you, and you can do this text or you can do this in person since you might be doing this at home. I want you to send your kid or tell them in a text message or in person one of the following: why you're proud of them, why you think they're going to be successful, or how they have improved your life. So pause the video for a minute and go ahead and do that. I hope that it's a meaningful opportunity to take a step back from life. Professional development, I have three master's degrees. One is in educational technology, another one is in educational instruction. And then lastly, about 2 years ago, I finished my leadership degree to essentially become a principal, which will probably not happen. Not my interest right now, but my administrator's license. Last year, I finished my national board certified teacher program. I'll find out in December if I passed it. Fingers crossed. It was a ton of work. It's an awesome opportunity, and so hopefully I did pass that. But I'll find out in December and let you know. I post a lot of things, not a ton, but quite a bit on Twitter and Instagram. Both those tags are at Mr. Fritz 8. It'll be classroom activities sometimes just my opinions on education and coaching. So if you want to follow that, you can feel free to. Our AP test is Thursday, May 9th, 2023. I'll fix that right now. Sorry about that. And it's going to be in the afternoon. The emails are coming out from Total Registration and College Board via AP Classroom. You should have received instructions on how to sign up. I encourage all of our students to take the test. I think it costs $100. I know that can be challenging sometimes for families. If that is, please reach out to the school. There might be some ways in which we can help with that. But even if you go to Oakton, a 3, 4, or 5 on the test gets you credit, which essentially saves you $750, being a 3-credit class. If you're going to U of I, it saves you about $3,000 almost passing the test. And that $100 essentially gives you that opportunity. So I really encourage all students to take the test. I get nothing out of it other than to see them be successful. So just seeing students in the past, I would highly encourage all students to take the test. You should be getting newsletters each week. We have 3 AP Psych interns that are former students of mine. First period, Mia Balcones. Third period, Allie Curry. And fourth period, Mia Callahan. And they each are going to put their spin on the newsletters for you to see what is going on in class each week. So check those out. We use Google Classroom. Everything's organized by numbers in there. So is the homework. So it should be relatively simple. The first number is the unit. The second number is the day of that unit. So 1.4 here would be Unit 1, 4th day. We structure class in a very specific way. We essentially do the learning in class. We take a quiz on it at home, and then we review it each day when we come into class with a couple more review questions. We call this the forgetting curve, and we try, as you see here, to narrow down this curve to make it less steep. And so the second time you learn it, the third time you learn it, the fourth time, that curve becomes less steep. And regularly, we have fantastic AP scores and awesome test scores in our class because the class is relevant to students, and we do a very, very scientific approach to teaching it in a way where students can remember, comprehend, and apply the information throughout not just the unit, but the entire year. We actually go back each unit and we test on a previous unit. So Unit 2 will have Unit 1's information on it. Unit 3 will have Unit 2's information on it. And we keep doing that so that by the end of the year, they've been reviewing multiple units. Unit 2 will have been seen 3 or 4 times. This is essentially outlined here. I'll include the PowerPoint, but we'll learn about it in class, homework on the previous day, and we keep just structuring it where we keep overlapping. We call it interleaving. Students can retake formative assessments. They need to get a 75 on each one to get the credit. They get a 5 out of 5 for just completing it with a 75% better, but they can take it over and over until they earn that. The reason for that is we want them to be successful. We want them to learn from their mistakes. And that is regularly a conversation in class on how they can have a growth mindset and continue to improve each day. Some students struggle early in the year because the class is really challenging for them. But by the end of the year, all the students that buy into the strategies that we talk about, doing the formative assessment quizzes without notes, redoing them and reviewing them once you're finished, almost every student that really works at it ends up earning the grade that they're looking for by the end of the year. These are our units for each semester. A couple of them we do move around a little bit, but this is currently where we're at for the year. And I'm really excited to have an awesome year with your kids. We have an 85% summative test grade. It's pretty much all tests. There's not really any projects. 15% is formative based off reflection, written assessment, and completion of their formative assessments. Retakes, they have to get a retake. To get a retake, they have to have all formative work done before the test. If it's not done, they lose that opportunity for that unit. First semester, they get unlimited retakes, as we continue to work on the course and reflect on what we've done. Second semester, they get 2 retakes. Here are a bunch of psychology books, some of my favorite. Some are a little bit more dense than others. Some of them are a little bit more applicable to our daily lives. But we regularly talk about Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Make It Stick was probably the most impactful book on how to learn that I've read. It's a little bit more dense. And Grit's a great book by Angela Duckworth on perseverance. One last book I'll leave you with that I read this summer was Do Hard Things. It was a fantastic book by Steve Magnus, and it really reshaped the way I think about resilience in the classroom and academically in the class, and athletically on the field. All right. Well, I'm very sorry I wasn't there today. I would have loved to meet all of you. Hopefully, I have the opportunity to do so. Have a great Meet the Teacher night, and thanks for giving me your time. Bye.